Hey y'all, Matt here from RetroOnly.com. Today I'm going to be talking again about the Nintendo Switch. And specifically I'm going to be talking about why the Nintendo Switch is so expensive. The console was released over 4 years ago now. And normally you can get good deals on consoles that have been out for that long. But with the Switch, you can't. Buying a new or even used Switch console will still cost you, for new, the exact same amount as when it was first released 4 years ago, and for used, really close to the price of a new one. But why are Nintendo Switches still so expensive? That's what I'm going to be covering in today's video. Before I get into that, please be sure to hit that like button and then also subscribe to our channel, as it really does help us out a lot and also allows other people around the world to see this video and get their questions answered as well. So let's go ahead and hop into answering that question of why the Nintendo Switch is still so expensive. Now, when we're talking about the Nintendo Switch being expensive, ultimately it can all be boiled down to one word. Why the Switch is so expensive. The one word is Nintendo. Now, you might have thought the word was greed, but honestly, I don't feel like that's the reason why the Switch prices have stayed so high. I really feel like the reason is because of Nintendo. Nintendo has done their best throughout all of their consoles and with all of their games and accessories to always keep the prices virtually the same, no matter how far after launch you buy it. That's why the Switch price is still $299. That's why the Switch Lite price is still $199. That's why all of their first-party games like Super Smash Bros., Mario Kart, etc. are all still $59.99 or real close to it. Even though many of these things were released multiple years ago, and some of the games that are on the Switch were released for the previous Nintendo console. Nintendo keeps their prices high because they keep their prices the same. Another thing that Nintendo does that keeps the cost of the Switch and games and other accessories so high is that they don't release extra quantities. Even just a few months ago, in 2020, they had issues with people not being able to keep the console in stock. Why? Because Nintendo didn't produce enough. And Nintendo is known for that. Just a couple of years ago, we had the NES Classic that was released. And you know what the problem was? There wasn't enough consoles on the market. Then we had the SNES Classic console released. And you know what the problem was? The exact same thing. Not enough consoles. You had resellers buying them up and reselling them for 3, 4, 5 times what the original price was, sometimes even more, because Nintendo didn't release or make enough of the consoles. And Nintendo does that for a reason. It's not necessarily to gouge their customers, although it does seem like that happens a lot with Nintendos. But the reason is because they don't want to overproduce the console and make it more of a commodity type product, although it is. Instead, they want it to be continual demand for many, many years for the Nintendo Switch console. And so that's why Nintendo doesn't make enough quantity of their consoles and of their games and etc. And that's why they make sure that the prices stay the same. See, it's not like you can go to Best Buy and find the Nintendo Switch console for cheaper. It's going to be the same price there as it is at Walmart, as it is at Amazon, as it is at other retailers, because Nintendo's very strict about keeping their prices the same. And so even when they run sales, normally at stores like around Black Friday, Thanksgiving through Christmas, they'll include a free game with a console purchase, or they'll include Nintendo Switch Online for a certain number of months for free, all because Nintendo keeps their prices at the same mark. That's why the Nintendo Switch is still so expensive, even after being released over 4 years ago at this point. Nintendo keeps their prices high. And that's why the Switch is still so expensive. And that's also why going forward, it's unlikely that the Switch price will drop. I fully expect the Switch to still be $299 MSRP until it's discontinued. And at that point, then the used consoles will still be going for quite high as well, because Nintendo keeps the prices of their consoles extremely high and extremely expensive, the exact same price as they were when they were originally released just a few years ago. I hope this video has been helpful to you in answering your question about the Nintendo Switch and why it's still so expensive, even multiple years after it was originally launched. Again, my name is Matt from RetroOnly.com. Have a great rest of your day.